Hi everyone, Complex back with another video, and today I wanted to chat with you guys about Destiny 2 and whether I think it's worth coming back to or just starting up if you're more of a solo player. For the record, I did play the beta of Destiny 2 when it came out on PC, and then I played it pretty much from the launch of PC through a little bit after Curse of Osiris launched, which was the first of the DLCs if you had the season pass. And at that point, I had gotten personally pretty frustrated with the game. It didn't feel like there was a lot of content for the solo player. It didn't feel like there was a lot of content coming for the solo player. A lot of you guys might have seen my Forsaken video when they announced that. And it just overall, I wasn't too impressed if you were more of a PvE player or if you were somebody that didn't like raids and kind of wanted to keep more to yourself while you were playing. Overall, to sum it up, just in case you don't want to hear the in-depth version, I do think Destiny 2 is worth coming back to if you're more of a solo player, with the caveat that you're okay teaming up with randos for something like strikes or just in the world. If you get the annual pass, the Black Armory has an event that you can do that requires 3 people. So you just got to be okay with like that kind of low level matchmaking, but you don't, like, as far as I've played so far, you don't need to talk to anybody for that. So in my mind, that is still solo player friendly because you can hop in, match with a rando, play, and then leave kind of thing, and still feel badass. And once you kind of do either a strike the first time or one of those events for the Black Armory, and stuff like that, you get it, you can do it, knock it out quick. And there's also a multitude of other reasons why I think Destiny 2 right now is more solo player friendly, and we're about to deep dive into that. But I do also want to point out that Destiny 2 right now, up through year 2 content, is only $40. So you can get like Destiny 2, the expansions from year 1, Forsaken, and the annual pass for $40. Or if you're somebody that just wants to wait until Shadowkeep comes out, Destiny 2 year 1 is going free to play. So you can get like Destiny 2 year 1 content. I believe they're going to put in a little bit of Gambit in there, and Shadowkeep itself will be like that kind of bundle, if you will be $35. So, and also Shadowkeep is not going to be dependent on Forsaken, which is really nice. So if you're somebody that's still toying with the idea, you're not 100% sure if you want to hop into Destiny yet, you can always wait for Shadowkeep to come out. My thoughts on whether or not Destiny 2 is worth coming back to or just playing as a solo player, though, is based on the fact that I have Forsaken and the annual pass, and I will say the $40 was absolutely worth it for Forsaken and the annual pass. I am pleasantly surprised by the amount of content in Forsaken alone. And the annual pass so far has been pretty fun. I've only dived a little bit into the Black Armory, and the Menagerie, the Season of Opulence, is happening right now, and that's actually been really fun and a nice way to get some higher level gear to help me level up and stuff like that. But overall, I'm actually pleasantly surprised by how much fun I'm having. And one of those reasons is also the triumphs and collections. And the triumphs and collections, I believe, came with Forsaken. I could be wrong. They weren't there when I left. How's that? But we're back. We're here when I came back. So triumphs are basically things that you collect or complete. They've got one for lore. They've got one for like destinations, completing certain things with your character, finishing up certain story points, this and that. And it's just, I'm a huge collector, complete, like I like having checklists. I love my checklists have checklists. Like if you guys have hung out with me on stream, the joke is like I have the post-it note next to me at all times to like make notes. So the triumphs really feed into that for me. And I love that. I love like looking like, oh, I still need to do 3 more patrols, or I need to get so many more grenade kills, or this and that to like complete certain things. I love that. Love it. And then the collections are literally what they sound like. They are collections for armor, weapons, flare, vehicle, ghosts, etc., and even exotics. And this is how you can remake weapons and armor. What? You can reacquire anything that is not a random roll currently. You can reacquire in this. As a heads up, in case you don't know, if something is considered has a random roll on it, you cannot actually reacquire it currently within the collections. It's something that I had read somewhere on Reddit, somebody at Bungie had mentioned that they are working on a solution to that in the future, but as it stands currently, anything that is a random roll you cannot reacquire, and it does say that very clearly on the weapon or armor. The only time I've seen that not actually showing though is the arsenic bow for Forsake that came out with Forsaken. That one, it doesn't say when you get it that you can't reacquire it, but if you go to the collections to reacquire it, you can't. So that bear that in mind. If that's something that like you want a particular thing or this and that, I would highly suggest holding on to it. So anything that I can't reacquire currently, I'm just saving in my vault because the vault has more space. My little collector heart was so happy. The vault space is 500. I can save everything. I'm so happy. The other thing is shaders can be reacquired in the collections. So you don't need to have a gazillion shaders because you can just remake them when you need them. So many like quality of life things have happened since I left. I'm so happy. So happy. It makes my life easy and I don't have to go back to my vault. I still have a ton of shaders in my vault that I need to delete. That's besides the point. But yay. And then you can go see cryptographer guy that cracks your engrams and sell him a whole bunch of shaders at once for easy quick deletion. What? So much good stuff. Anyways, the collections and the triumphs, yes, so good, especially for the solo player, because there's a lot of stuff that you can do in there that's just like in the world, and you don't have to worry about playing with other people because it's not raid related. There's a whole raid side to that, but you can ignore it. I personally am not one for raiding. I don't want to have to talk to people while I play. Call me lazy, call me crazy. I don't know. I like, either playing on stream and just, being able to talk to you guys while I play, or I like playing from the comfort of my living room and not having to talk to somebody at 2 a.m. trying to get through a raid. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been that way. And that's awesome that now I feel like Bungie, Destiny are kind of catering to that. Outside of the triumphs and collections and all this other stuff, there is bounties, which I thought was pretty cool. I know D1 had bounties. D2 now also has bounties. And I like them because it's a good way to earn resources. It's a good way, like, I don't necessarily enjoy doing strikes all that much, but they are definitely, they have a place. They're needed for certain things. But I know Zavala has his own set of gear that you can get, and that's part of the collections. And the nice thing now is through bounties, I can actually start to earn strike tokens by doing things that aren't strike related, like getting grenade kills or so many kills with this or something like that, just in the world. So I can start to acquire that gear that he kind of has listed at the bottom without having to do strikes, which if you're somebody that hates strikes or just don't do them that often, this is a really nice alternative and a way to acquire that stuff that you might need for your collections or triumphs. So there's that. I also think that, I know I came to Warmind late and everybody's probably played it, but I also think Warmind had a lot of solo player friendly content. I also really like Escalation Protocol. I think that that's a ton of fun. The exotic quests so far that I've tried are fun and interesting. I like the black armor, like I mentioned before. I kind of can't wait to dive more into it. I've only like surface leveled it because I really want to finish more of the Forsaken content and also the Warmind content. Yeah, I think if you haven't played Destiny 2 before, but you don't like raids, or you don't necessarily want to have to play with other, like you don't want to chat with people while you're playing, and you're comfortable playing with randos in a a strike situation or something like that, or just kind of wandering the world for PvE, I think that there's a lot to do. Lost sectors are still fun, and now with the triumphs, there's a reason to go in and do every single lost sector. There's a reason to. I feel like adventures have a little bit more of a purpose now, especially with the triumphs and collections and so on and so forth, and I enjoy it. I do. I know in this video I've kept it pretty much PvE and like world based. I haven't talked about PvP and I haven't touched on Gambit, and that's simply because I haven't played them yet. For the most part, I'm waiting on PvP and Gambit because they don't match everybody's levels anymore. It's whatever your power level is. Well, that's what you go into PvP as. And I suck at PvP, so I'm waiting until I'm a little bit stronger and all of my favorite weapons are ready to go to give myself every advantage possible because it's gonna be hilarious. We'll stream it eventually, and you guys can giggle right along with me if that's your thing. And I know Gambit's supposed to be a hybrid PvP PvE mode, and I will be hopping into that sometime soon. I am excited to try it. Drifter seems like an interesting character, so I'm kind of curious to kind of keep this rolling and to experience a little bit more. And the last thing I want to mention is this pursuits tab. That's where the destinations and map are. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love being able to keep track of everything. It's kind of like my lists have lists and they have lists, and I love it. It makes my organized heart so happy, and I just love seeing everything laid out. I love being able to track my favorite stuff, and so on and so forth. And yeah, it just, ooh, it makes me happy. Anywho, y'all, thank you for joining me on this little journey today that we had. I hope you had fun. I had a blast. Let me know your thoughts. Are you coming back to Destiny 2? Did you come back to Destiny 2 recently? Are you thinking about waiting till Shadowkey comes out? What are your thoughts? How are you feeling? Let me know in the comments down below, or find me on Twitch and let me know on there. I am streaming Destiny 2. Love to have you. Come hang out. You know what I mean? The Twitch link is in the description, also flashing across your screen. You know how it normally is. Y'all, seriously, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night and or day, depending on where you are in the world, and I will catch you next time. Goodbye, guys.